we go. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I feel like all of us in the Marvel Spider-Man community are legitimately breathing like Darth Vader with the amount of copium that we're consuming, but we finally, in what feels like months, possibly have some exciting news to talk about. Now, of course, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you guys so very much for your support. And as I always say, let's dive on in.
And then more recently, what I've heard is there is probably going to be a state of play, a Sony PlayStation state of play, not a showcase, a state of play at the end, by the end of September. Let's do this one again. God, that was fun last time.
Yes, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Grubb, who is a very, very credible source when it comes to these sorts of things in terms of rumors and leaks, he has predicted the last handful of showcases slash state of plays, has announced that he believes that there will be a state of play before the end of September. Now, of course, this would line up very nicely considering the fact that Sony has announced and confirmed that they will be attending the Tokyo Game Show on September 26th. And typically speaking, if we look at the history books, Sony has traditionally held some type of a state of play or showcase right ahead of the Tokyo Game Show. So it would line up pretty nicely here that we have a very credible leaker in Jeff Grubb revealing that he believes, and he's heard from his sources, that there is a state of play coming up for Sony. And then, of course, in addition to that, that we do have the confirmation that Sony would be attending Tokyo Game Show as well. Now, of course, this is where things are going to get a little bit spicy because, well, what can we expect from this particular state of play? Keep in mind that he did not say showcase, which means that this should be a smaller show in scale. The showcases is really where they go all out usually and they reveal a bunch of crazy things. The state of plays are a lot shorter in length and don't have quite as many big announcements, but can still be really exciting to look forward to, especially when you take into consideration that as of right now, we have also gotten confirmation from Tom Henderson from over at Insider Gaming, who has once again reiterated once this news has come out from Jeff Grubb, that he believes that the PlayStation 5 Pro is set to be revealed during September, officially that is, and then would be sold and released to the public sometime in November, which is interesting because again, things are starting to line up. We're starting to get a more clear picture by having these little different puzzle pieces, some information from Jeff Grubb, some information that has just simply leaked, and then some information from Tom Henderson. We're starting to paint a picture of something that is seemingly becoming more and more real. Now, of course, keep in mind the fact that this system is rumored to be absolutely redonkulously pricey. I mean, it is in the range of $600 to $700. That is the current guesstimate from most big major analysts, is that it will probably land somewhere in that particular ballpark. So, to do a little bit of cosplaying here as Sony, how do you sell this system? Because after all, if you're releasing this thing in November, you need to have a compelling product attached to the console to make people incentivized to go out and buy the new upgraded PS5. So, in my opinion, out of all the things that are possible, I genuinely think that this is where we go back to being copium for Marvel Spider-Man 2. But I think that the most believable piece of content that would be ready to go for this holiday season would be Marvel's Spider-Man 2 DLC. I don't think that Ghost of Tsushima would be ready to go. I don't think they would release it this year. If they were to release it this year, I think we would have already known about it officially. I don't think that Santa Monica's new game is ready to go either, or maybe even a new God of War. Same thing goes for Naughty Dog. And so that really leaves just one obvious selection, and that would be the DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, especially if you could go on ahead and sell it and pitch it to the consumer in such a way where you would say, hey, this is going to be a re-release of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, except this time it's going to come along with all the previously released suits and the new DLC. So it allows you to kind of like package or repackage the game as though it is a new release, kind of like how they used to do back in the day Game of the Year editions. So you would sell it with the DLC included for maybe the original retail price, so it feels like extra value for the new consumer. Plus, you could also pitch it as, hey, it has higher frame rate or higher resolution and frame rate thanks to the new powerful version on the PS5 Pro. I think that's kind of a no-brainer way to go about things. if you needed to have a big successful title attached to your brand new console. If you guys disagree, let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know what makes sense in terms of other titles that they could try to sell here, because I know obviously people are going to say, well, they do have Astrobot coming out, and that's fair, but I just don't really think Astrobot is the kind of game that you could demo with a PlayStation 5 Pro and say, look how much better it looks on a PS5 Pro. And as much as I'm looking forward to Astrobot, I don't think that that's the kind of game that is going to sell consoles. Whereas if we look at the success of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I mean, that game has sold over 10 million copies. It makes perfect sense that they would try to do a fancy, like, I don't know, complete edition or the super duper edition. They're probably going to come up with a more clever name than that. But if they release something like that, that includes DLC as part of the core package, I think that would definitely move some systems. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And of course, I know that some people are going to say, well, do we even need a PS5 Pro? And that's a discussion for a whole nother time, but I'm sure it will be had in the comment section anyway. Thanks all for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know, do you think that this upcoming State of Play in September will be where we finally get to see that Marvel logo, that Insomniac Games logo, and ultimately finally find out about this Marvel Spider-Man 2 DLC that we've all been hoping for?